voices, the 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 voices.
Hey, there you are. I don't see. Let me make sure I have some video going here.
I hear a voice.
You may see a face. There it is.
There we go.
What's up?
How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Not too bad. Just waiting on everybody else.
So, who do we have on tap today?
Michael Tucci, my co-host, and then one of his friends, Sanna.
Hmm.
She's over in Paris.
Oh, that's fun.
I think. I'm pretty, like 98% sure he said Paris.
So she's somewhere overseas.
Yes.
Mm. How long have you guys been doing the podcast?
We just started. We did our first discussion in October,
Mm-hmm.
which was we actually did it here in my apartment, and I had my tattoo artist Mike, a friend of mine that lives in New Hampshire. She was joining us via Facebook, and then we started. I want to say January, doing them this way,
Nice.
where it's on Zoom.
Yeah, well, it makes it easy. I mean, everybody's. That's pretty much how we've been communicating for the past year. So.
Yeah. I have a couple of them up on the my website and on the YouTube channel. I have another one that edit. Actually, I have two of them to edit, and then I got to figure out the audio for an actual podcast.
Right. Yeah, should be good. Should be good stuff.
Yeah, just trying to come up with different topics. Anything that's creative.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty to talk about
Yeah.
in the creative sphere. That's for sure. So years ago, I mean, man, it's probably 8 or 9 years ago, I decided to try my hand at a podcast because I said, I know all these creative people, I have all these contacts, and I started a podcast called The Creative Well. I think I did maybe 2 episodes, 3 episodes, because I'm usually too busy to to actually have fun and do something I want to do. So I did maybe 2 episodes for it, which was fun, but it was the same content. And the idea of, you have all these creative talents and talking about the idea of creativity and where it stems from and how people utilize that to not only make a living, but where does that lead you to? What are the elements that makes it creativity, essentially? What drives it? What feeds it? How do you survive with it? Especially, for a person like me, where if I'm not creating, I feel like my soul is withering. So I have to create something. So it was an interesting experiment. Maybe one day I'll get back to it, but there's that time stuff.
Yeah. I work 10-hour shifts Monday through Friday. And now they got me on the schedule rotating Saturdays for 7 hours.
Oh
And
man.
I come home during the week and I just don't want to do anything. And then I have my
Yeah.
dog to take care of, and
Yep.
I feel like I'm not doing enough with him because
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want to go anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you, man. I mean, I have a 2-year-old. I don't know how that happened, but somehow it did. And it's just trying to balance work, my need for creative output, which is basically my personal time, which is basically non-existent, and being a dad. So it's really challenging, really challenging. But I mean, time is our most valuable commodity. So even outside of, as long as you can keep the lights on and you got a shirt on your back, then time is what seems to be that critical element that's so fleeting now, especially as we get older. I mean, I'm 23, so I got some time. Shit. But yeah, it's definitely time is the thing.
I've just been getting into the whole creative thing where I write poetry, and I've been
Mm-hmm.
doing that for 14, 15 years.
Nice.
And, started writing in the last few years, started doing like short stories and stuff, not knowing what I'm doing, just, voices in my head, let's put it on paper.
Right.
And then, I started with this and just trying to figure out ways to get my stories in front of people. How do I get people to read my stuff? And, how can I make money? Because that's the thing. I want to make enough money to where I can pay my bills without going to my day job.
Right. Right.
So I'm trying.
Well,
trying to
that's
get,
the thing, right? Isn't that the ultimate goal is to sustain yourself with your art, with your creativity?
Yeah.
That's the and I've been doing that for 11 years now, and that's just I hate to break it to you. But, yeah, don't let me be the herald of bad news, but that's just opening the door, because there's always the specter of crushing self doubt and
Mhm.
just dealing with the more technical elements of whatever creative industry you're in, since you're seeking to make it fiscally viable. And so getting to the point of where, okay, I can keep the lights on, I can eat, I have clothing, I can do all of these things. That's monumental. But that's just, now you've opened the door, you're coming into the party. So now it's time to get down. So that's the once you get over that hump, then it's easier in the sense that that's the big barrier of entry, right? So how do you get there? How do you make a living doing what you
Yeah.
want to do? And then it's, how do you achieve sustainable growth? How do you maintain that? How do you stay relevant in the art or the field that you're in? So all of those things then compound onto the idea of, I just want to make money making my art and I want to survive creating. Then it becomes a bigger challenge. Not to diminish the fact that being able to survive creatively, doing creative things and solely from that is amazing. I mean, that is the dream. But then once you achieve that dream, you realize, I'm still asleep and I'm still dreaming all this other stuff. So that's the ticket. But yeah, I definitely hear you.
Yeah. I don't mind working the day job. I'd rather do it somewhere closer to a beach, somewhere closer to where I can hear the ocean.
Yeah, yeah.
The voices, 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 the voices.